What is a skill ceiling and a skill floor? When talking about Overwatch, a lot of pros and content creators will use terms like this to describe certain characters and how they interact with the game and compositions and all that other good stuff. But if you aren't familiar with the game or anything content-wise, some of these terms might be foreign to you. So today we're going to kind of break this term down, kind of explain and dive a little deeper into what these terms mean. Also, real quick, if you guys are seeing this video, make sure you leave a like and subscribe. We are actually on our way to 2,000 subscribers. Also, I was on vacation, so sorry about my absence for the past week. I apologize. Won't happen again. So when we refer to the term skill floor, what that means is that the character that we're referring to is extremely easy to play and grasp hands-on initially. So a character like Soldier 76 has an extremely low skill floor because the way his gameplay loop works, it's very familiar. It's your standard FPS. He has his run and gun. He has a second ability, kind of like a grenade or something like that. Mr. Call of Duty is what he was referred to as sometimes in Overwatch 1. So characters like that. So Soldier 76 in this case has an extremely low skill floor, but he also has a pretty decent skill ceiling as well. I'll go over what skill ceiling means in a second here, but I kind of want to give some more examples as to different characters that have a lower skill floor and characters that are easier to grasp. For example, Diva. Diva has an extremely low skill floor as well, but Diva's weird in that she's one of these easy to play, hard to master characters, and that her abilities, there are more ins and outs than some of your other tanks or some of your other more complex characters, because Diva has just this really weird role in the game. Like, she's dive, but you can also play her extremely defensively, and she has like very easy peel, and like her defensive matrix is so good. It's weird how Diva works. So compare someone like Soldier 76 or someone like Diva to someone like Sombra or Tracer. You start seeing some things, right? In Overwatch 1, you had like the stars. You had, I believe they went up to 3 stars. You had characters that were like 1-star difficulty and 3-star difficulty, and that's kind of where you can engage how these characters work. Because here's the thing, if you have a bad Reinhardt on your team, you might be okay-ish. You can probably get around that. If you have a bad Ball on your team, you're most likely going to lose because Ball has a way higher skill floor. It is way harder to play Ball competently and maintain map control and maintain harassment in the backline than it is to play Reinhardt just up front, have decent resource management with your shield, and know when to swing your hammer, right? It's different. Also, that's part of the reason why Moira isn't a respected character in the community, because she is so fucking easy to play. All you do is just hold a button to do damage, and you can literally get off the map so quick. Like, I hate this character. You will have characters that are kind of in the middle, such as Ramatra or maybe Ashe, some things like that. Not every character in Overwatch is like overly complex and, oh my god, they're so scary. I don't know how to play this character. What am I gonna do? Matter of fact, most of the Overwatch roster kind of falls in this in-between area, but you will have some exceptions. Like I said, Ball, Doomfist, Sombra, Tracer, Genji. Genji is a very good example of a character with an extremely high skill ceiling. If you have a bad Genji, it's mainly because they don't know how to properly engage, disengage, and it also is really hard to aim with his projectiles as well. It can be extremely difficult. Now, when we refer to the term skill ceiling, most often people will talk about skill ceilings in how hard it is to master the character. So someone like Soldier 76, it's decent. It's not too high, but someone like Zenyatta can be extremely high because Zenyatta is a glass cannon. He doesn't have any movement abilities, and he has very intricate things in his kit, but he can get dove extremely easy. But a good Zen can be extremely dominant. I would argue Baptiste is kind of in the middle here because Baptiste is a hybrid between a DPS and a really good support. So I don't really know where I would put him. It's decent to have. It's decent enough to pick up Baptiste, but mastering Baptiste, I don't know if it's as hard as some people make it out to be. A lot of that just starts referring to aim. Also, when we start referring to game sense, we start referring to things such as game sense, which not a lot of players know exactly what that is. It's just kind of a feeling you get. If I were to properly define game sense, I would define game sense as being able to predict enemy positions, start predicting when enemy ultimates start coming your way, where your team is, knowing when to get out of a fight, when to engage in a fight, when to disengage, all these kind of things. It's kind of like Ultra Instinct. It's kind of things you just know how to do. Essentially, getting really good game sense is putting so much time into the game, you can really just start predicting things. Like if a Reinhardt in front of you starts making extremely lateral movements and he kind of just keeps his chest towards you and kind of just starts trying to like look at you from the side, he's most likely trying to line up a shatter. You also hear terms such as, oh, he's setting up, he's getting ready to ult or something like that. If you hear a Reaper teleport behind you, a lot of players know to just start spreading out immediately because he's going to try to ult. People also start to predict when characters will ult as well, like, oh, he has his ult, it's been enough time, he probably has it by this point, blah blah blah, stuff like that. Game sense is really weird. I'm not sure if there's a textbook definition. If there is, I'll try to put one on screen. But yeah, honestly, it's really interesting to think about skill floors and skill ceilings as well, because Overwatch is such a complex game on paper, but when some people just load up the game, it can be pretty intimidating, but also pretty fun. Again, a lot of these characters kind of fall in this in between. Like, I really don't know where I would put Mei. Like, Mei is, on one hand, is extremely easy to play, but a really good Mei is fucking terrifying, but I don't know how much practice you would need. I don't know, very weird, very odd. But yeah, that's just kind of my thoughts on what skill floors and skill ceilings kind of mean for me, at least. If you guys feel any different, please let me know down in the comments below. What do you guys refer to as skill floors and skill ceilings? How do you guys feel? Do you guys feel like the Overwatch roster falls in the middle? Do you guys feel like the Overwatch roster kind of falls into just one big group? What do you guys think? Anyway, guys, me put that for you guys. Thank you guys so much for joining me on this video. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe, and yeah, I will see you in the next video. All right, peace.